All right, hello, everybody out there. Welcome to the Mebois Podcast, episode 5. I'm Josh,
And I'm Ray.
and today we're sounding slightly less sick. Although I've just recently woken up, so I may sound like I'm bored or disinterested, but I swear I'm very interested in this. Uh,
I swear.
yeah, I also haven't eaten, so you know, let's make this quick. Um, so, what have you been getting up to, Ray?
Um, Lately I've been binging on a TV show. I think it's a Netflix show now. I don't think it started. It's The Last Kingdom. Uh, I won't get too much into that, but I was binging on that. Like, I'm on season 3. Season 4 is supposed to come out soon. And last night I think I watched like 4 or 5 episodes back to back because they kept ending it on a cliffhanger. Um, but I also saw the trailer for. Oh, the title of the movie is so long. Let me just check it. It's the Ted Bundy. Is that the serial killer?
Yeah,
Yeah, Zac Efron as Ted Bundy. The name of the movie is Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile.
what a name.
Right? It's really long. Um, you haven't seen the trailer, have you?
No.
The funny thing is, it's like the way they cut the trailer and the music they chose, it make it sound like an action comedy.
A Ted Bundy action comedy.
Yeah. So it's a weird vibe to get when you're supposed to be watching this maniac kill women.
Right.
Especially, I read one of the comments, and apparently the movie's supposed to be about his girlfriend or wife who's dealing with the fact that this version of Ted Bundy that she knows is not the one that's being portrayed on TV and whatever.
As in, she knew a like a kinder man, or
I think so.
that sort of thing.
Yeah, this is supposed to be. I'm looking at the IMDb page, and it's supposed to be from the perspective of his longtime girlfriend, who refused to believe the truth about him.
Well, he never killed and ate me.
So he must be fine. Yeah. So that's not the vibe you get at all from the trailer. The vibe you get from the trailer is sort of Tarantino-esque, where it's sort of
Tarantino-esque Ted Bundy. Like, he's having a conversation about what they call Big Macs in Europe and shit. Like, trying to make him sound quirky and interesting.
and the kid from Sixth Sense is in it too. I think.
Like the little kid.
Well, I see his picture here.
Is that the guy whose head grew but his face never did?
Yeah. Haley Joel Osment. Yeah, he's in it.
Yes, yeah.
Um,
He tends to be in like weird sort of comedy things, which makes it feel even more comedic to me.
Yeah, I think there was a movie a while ago where that came out where he was supposed to be like a mob boss, and that was the whole joke. I think it was a comedy, but the whole joke was like this guy with a baby face is a mob boss.
Yeah, it's looking at him is something else.
Yeah. I still see the like I just see the little boy from Sixth Sense just with a beard.
Yeah. That's his sixth sense, is that he still has this little boy trapped inside of him.
Yeah.
And just a man grew around him.
But I don't have too much interest in this movie. At least I didn't until I saw someone mock up a picture of Zac Efron as Wolverine, and which like set every comic book site crazy.
Wait. So this is a separate trailer, right?
What?
I'm confused.
No, so
You said you didn't have much. Okay, go ahead.
yeah. I didn't have much interest in the Ted Bundy movie. I knew Zac Efron was gonna be Ted Bundy, and I thought that's interesting.
Oh, that's the link. Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
I didn't have so. I'll explain the link in it. I didn't have much interest in the movie just because I don't really care about a Ted Bundy story. But then I saw someone mock up this picture of Zac Efron as Wolverine, and the look of him, it looks like he could play the part. It's just, we've never really seen too many serious roles from Zac Efron. So I feel like if he is...
I'm sorry, have you ever watched High School Musical?
We're all in this together.
To be fair, I actually haven't.
I have.
No, I'm not going to say that on the podcast.
But yeah, I'm like, Wolverine is one of my favorite characters, so I figured if he is going to be seriously considered, it would be interesting to see him in a darker, more serious role to see like how he'd do.
Right. I was about to say, well, no, he's already been the Joker, but then I remember
that's a completely different
Jared
person.
Leto. Dude, I mix them up all the time because they're both bad actors. But
Jared Leto's actually pretty good.
As the Joker?
No, I mean acting.
You see how I was testing you there? As the Joker?
No, not as a Joker. He won an Oscar.
Oh, there you go. We were just talking about the Oscars before this.
Yeah.
How much
Let's
I
not get
despise
into that
them.
conversation.
Yeah. But so Zac Efron, I mean, he's sort of, part of me feels like he's too pretty looking to be Wolverine, more or less. I mean, I'm sure they could sort of work with it. And he can grow a beard, so.
Well, yeah, and in the mock-up, they Photoshop like the sideburn, the Wolverine sideburns.
I'm just imagining him with the classic Wolverine haircut as well. And it's really funny to me.
I'll show you the picture. It's actually because I think it works. It works for me.
I can jerk off to this.
Yeah, there's a link.
Huh. Yeah, maybe.
All right. It's not the mock-up convinced me. But then the other question is, because the whole reason why this is even possible is because Disney are buying out Fox or are almost buying out Fox. I'm not sure exactly.
I thought they already did.
They did, but it's sort of about like I'm not sure if the properties of Fox. I don't know if anything's been confirmed yet. Like I don't know if that means all the X-Men are coming back to Marvel Studios and things like that.
Imagine what a headache that is behind the scenes of having to be behind like such massive mergers.
Yeah, because this came out like a year ago, I think, that they were going to be bought out, and it's still not completely done.
I'm sure it won't be done for years to come.
Well, the Marvel Studios president said that he's hoping that they can start mapping out a Marvel universe with the X-Men and the Fantastic Four by March.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
you saying that just made me feel so old and out of the loop. Like we're gonna combine 3 universes of things I don't care about.
I mean, technically, it's one universe. It's just in terms of Hollywood.
Well, that's the problem. Yeah, it's gonna be one universe now. I'm like, oh my god,
it's such a headache because like I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Like, how are they going to involve all these well-established comic characters who have well-established film universes into a brand new universe where they're supposed to be brand new, or they're supposed to have existed but we only meet them now? It's confusing to like.
Every movie is gonna have 40 characters from now on. but they're all the main character.
Yeah, and then there's the whole like. Did you watch the X-Men movies?
I watched like the first one, and that was it, I think.
Okay. Did you watch Logan?
No.
Okay. Logan is actually very good.
Yeah, I heard it was good.
I guess the only issue with like bringing back Wolverine so soon is just like we just said goodbye to this character.
Yeah, I mean, but to be fair, if it was going the route you're thinking with a younger Wolverine, then that would sort of be okay then.
Yeah, it's
not like we're just like picking up. It's just sort of like in the past, more
right.
or less. Although, if I wonder if they'd do that timeline well, or if they would just mess things up right away.
Yeah, it's such a because rumors are saying like them trying to fix the events of Infinity War could change the timeline and mix these universes together. So it could acknowledge the fact that these are different universes, but because of what they're gonna have to do to save people, it's gonna bring everyone into the same universe or something like that.
I can't wait till X-Men are real. That's the next step, dude. The movies aren't gonna be enough.
It's after this, after Avengers Endgame. You know, if Marvel doesn't plan well, it could be the end of the MCU. I feel like
it's gonna be like the shit. What's their name? Who did the Walking Dead games and they just closed out of nowhere?
Oh, Telltale.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Telltale over again. It's just we have the highest grossing franchise ever, and we're bankrupt.
I don't think Telltale were ever that close. I think like their high was Walking Dead season 1.
Yeah,
but no, it would,
yeah, most of them would. Yeah,
yeah, it would be a huge. Although 10 years in a cinematic universe, it's not bad.
Sure.
Like, because I don't know if they're still planning to. Warner Brothers, they were gonna do a cinematic universe with like classic monster stories, weren't they?
Were they?
Yeah, like,
I have no idea.
Like they were gonna have a universe that had Jekyll and Hyde.
Oh yeah, they were gonna do like what was it called? It was like the Dark Universe or.
Let me look it up. They had a name for
something along.
It was Warner Brothers.
They were gonna have Mr. Invisible or whatever, or I'm sorry, not Mr. Invisible, the Invisible Man. I'm thinking of like superheroes and shit. The Invisible Man, Bride of Frankenstein, the Mummy.
Oh no! Apparently, it's the people who were supposed to plan the Dark Universe abandoned it. But that was,
oh yeah, I mean it's gone.
That was like a year ago. I didn't notice. I didn't realize.
Oh yeah, nobody cared. And that's the problem. Because like I think the Mummy was the first one. It was the first one in that supposed series. I think
the Tom Cruise one.
Yeah, with Tom Cruise.
That wasn't very good. I heard.
No. Do you remember when the trailer came out and there was no sound? Well, there was like
yeah.
There was like one. It was even worse than no sound because there was like one audio track, but it was missing like two of them.
Yeah, there was like, was it breathing? Like there was someone's breathing
yes.
or something. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, there was breathing, and then there's an obvious, just repeated and looped scream.
Yeah.
Or yell from Tom Cruise towards the end.
The Wilhelm scream.
We should link that one because that video is really funny.
Yeah. I heard, I don't know if this is gonna get me in trouble with Xenu and all his alien warriors, but I heard that Tom Cruise had a lot of creative control over that movie.
I'm sure he has a ton of creative control over pretty much everything he does.
Yeah. I don't.
in his personal life and outside of it. Um,
Did you watch the last Mission Impossible?
no, but people were saying it was good. I think.
I liked it. I thought, as an action movie, I thought it was fun. I thought the action sequences were cool. It's just like story-wise, it's nothing new. But maybe you're with a Mission Impossible movie, you're kind of is that maybe it's too much to ask for. I don't know, but
Too much to ask for it to have a plot or anything.
yeah. But I was annoyed. Do you care if I spoil the movie for you?
No, go ahead.
I was annoyed because Superman's in it, Henry Cavill, the gamer.
Oh, like as a character, not
Yeah,
as.
he's in it. Yeah.
When you
It's a
said
whole new
Superman's in it,
universe.
and we were just talking about cinematic universes, my brain just exploded. I'm like, what are you talking about?
No, so he's in it. That's not the annoying thing. The annoying thing about it
And then
is
the Hulk shows up.
he is supposed to be a CIA agent, and he ends
Henry
up.
Cavill.
Yeah, he ends up. He's the traitor. But the thing is, before the movie came out, Tom Cruise openly talked about how there's this scene where he's chasing Henry Cavill around London or wherever they are. So it's just like, all right. So when's
He
the scene where?
spoiled
Yeah, like I don't know if I don't think the trailer showed that he was the traitor, but maybe it was just Tom Cruise just fucking up saying, "I'm chasing Henry around." But the other
No,
thing,
you're just talking about in real life. You just-
join us, Henry.
I like how you made him sound like an alien as well.
He's
He's trying to run on his little legs.
join Xenu Kal-El.
Kill.
The other thing was, it's so annoying how much all these characters are like, Ethan is such a good guy. Ethan's awesome.
Is Ethan Tom Cruise's character?
Ethan is Tom Cruise. Ethan Hunt, yeah.
Isn't Ethan Hunt a guy though?
Yeah.
No, I mean, yes, but isn't? I like how I was trying to insinuate that Tom Cruise is a woman. We're really gonna have him after us now. That's okay. Nobody listens to this anyway. No, but isn't Ethan Hunt like an actor or something in real life?
Ethan Hawke?
Is that the one who does like some lower budget horror stuff?
No, Ethan Hawke is Before Sunrise.
I don't know that one.
Boyhood. He was the dad.
Okay, yeah, that is who I'm thinking of.
Also.
Okay, Ethan Hawke, not
Yeah,
Ethan Hunt.
Hawke. Also, the shy kid from that. What was it? The Robin Williams, where he's a teacher. Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Good Will Hunting.
Dead Poet Society.
Oh,
You just have Ben
yeah, that's what I
Affleck,
meant.
Ben Affleck and Matt Damon in heavy Boston accents just go, "Oh, Captain, my Captain."
Oh, Captain, you're a real wise guy.
Hey, Captain, you like apples?
Or are you more a banana guy? You think Superman? You think Superman would be a Scientologist?
The character or Henry Cavill?
The character. I mean, he's an alien. Well, aliens probably wouldn't be Scientologists because aren't they against the aliens? Or I can't remember.
Well, you have to imagine he was raised in Kansas. I would imagine Kansas.
Oh, yeah, he's probably Christian or something.
Yeah, that's what I would imagine.
Well, what's the story behind Superman? Does he crashes down as a kid?
As a baby.
Like a baby. Okay, so he's completely raised
Yeah,
there
completely raised there.
in Smallville. That's not canon, right? That's just for the TV show that he's in Smallville.
They call him Smallville because he's from Kansas, I think.
Wait, what? They call him
Like,
Smallville.
because he moves to Metropolis, right? He becomes a reporter. So I think his
Right.
nickname becomes, they call him, hey, Smallville, because he's from Kansas. He's from the middle of nowhere.
Right, but do you know, like in the comics and stuff, is he actually from Smallville, or is it just for the TV show that he's
Yeah,
in Smallville?
I don't think
because that's the name of the show.
Yeah, I don't think he's actually from Smallville. I think it's just the nickname and the TV show.
Right, because he's from a small place.
Yeah, but let me just check. I want to make sure. Oh, he's actually from Smallville. Never mind, I'm wrong.
Oh, okay.
But it's a fictional town.
Right.
So, I don't know. I always figured it was because he was from a place like Kansas, so they would just call him Smallville. I think it was because of the animated Superman show. I think Lois or Lana Lang would always call him Smallville, so I just figured it was the nickname they gave him.
It's both.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a nickname Xenu gave him. No, but I was just thinking about that. Just for some reason, it made me think about how, like, especially recently, people who have characters, especially in like video games and stuff, tend to develop them, I feel like, almost too far. Like, so I remember recently with, Overwatch.
The game right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They came out with something, I can't remember. They basically were saying like one of their characters, I think it was like Soldier 56 or whatever his name is, I can't remember, but they were saying that he's like canon gay or something. And I think people got annoyed by that because like I don't know if you know Overwatch, but like it's just like a team shooter. It's sort of like one of those things. And so it's like, it's so weird that it's not like these people don't really exist in like in any sort of capacity outside of the match.
Right, there's no lore.
So, yeah. I mean, and I understand sort of having some lore, I guess, but it felt like a
Virtue
sort of like, yeah, it felt like sort of a diversity push for no reason, sort of like, hey, look how diverse these characters who aren't characters are.
Right.
I don't know. I just thought that was funny. It was like making a superhero have a religion. Well, no, superheroes make sense because they have like movies and stuff.
Yeah.
So that would make sense to know like Superman's sexuality or whatever.
Right. Yeah. I didn't realize they were doing that with Overwatch. Because I figured with games like that, the most you would do is kind of just give them a little backstory. Just like when
set up their backstory.
When you're selecting a character, you're like, oh, because I know there's a cowboy in that game, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think my friend showed me his cinematic, and I thought that was pretty cool.
It's high noon.
Yeah, that's it. That was it. Yeah, so things like that.
Yeah, I think they've actually done that with a couple characters now.
What was the name?
And I don't know how they've. I was about to say Deadshot. God, I can't keep up with all this shit.
John
I was about to say
Marston.
Mercer. Yeah. No, it's Deadeye, I think. No. Is it? Let me
McCree.
look it up. Mad Dog McCree.
Oh, you know what I found out? The font they use for Red Dead, it's called Marston.
Oh yeah, they made their own font.
I'm wondering, like, did they make the font or did they
Did they name him after the font?
Yeah, did they name him after the font?
I'm pretty sure they probably made the font.
Probably.
It's like, I need a name for a cowboy.
They're
Let's
like a
name
week
him.
away from deadline. They're like, fuck, we don't have a name for this guy. and they see the font. John Marston. Fuck it.
Let's name him Wing Ding.
Comic Sans.
Well, that's how they got the characters' names for Undertale.
Undertale?
Yeah, man. You missed out on that big old video game sensation.
I must have.
Sort of a little indie game that garnered a lot of attention and sort of community sprouted up around it.
2015. That's still pretty new.
I like how you were saying it like you were like doing a joke or something. 2015, huh? That's still pretty new.
No, I'm like, it looks. I saw the pictures. I figured it was like an old game, but then I saw the date.
No, it's just got like that style.
Yeah.
But so there's two characters in that, Sans and Papyrus. You know, both font references. But no, I think a lot of games. A lot of games tend to create their own fonts.
Yeah, StarCraft has a font. Did
Oh,
they
yeah?
name this? Did they name the game after the font?
Yeah. There was like an existing font called StarCraft.
Yeah, they
That'd be fucking sweet. I would type in StarCraft. I would do my resume in that.
I don't know if it would impress anyone. It would look
Fuck
cool
you.
though.
Well, I can't remember what StarCraft's font looks like. I haven't looked at StarCraft in a long time.
I always think of it. I know it's not the same as the ESPN font, but it just reminds me of that.
You got like that dancing ESPN robot in StarCraft. You know what I'm talking about?
The one they do like before a show, they have the robot. That one.
Well, like when there's like a splash screen over like the bottom half of the screen or whatever, and the robot comes out.
Yeah. You just have that on your resume, the dancing robot.
It's like holographic, so they turn it.
Instead of your picture, it's the robot.
I always find that kind of funny that like on CVs, I think it's more common like you have your picture there.
Yeah, I have a picture on mine because well, I think the U.S. is the only place that really uses. Well, they always phrase it as resumes. Everywhere else kind of phrases it as a CV.
Right. It's just funny because like, well, what if you're ugly? Like, so like automatically you're gonna be discriminated against. I mean, what if? It's not like I'm ugly or anything. Dude, I looked at my passport photo the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. I was having a bad day that day.
Did you get the passport before we went on that trip? Was it right before that or no? No, you didn't have to.
Which, the one to Minnesota?
No, when we went to Virginia.
Oh, no. I didn't get it for that, because that's within the states.
Right, we didn't have to. Do you remember when we were getting into our flight and the lady looks at my state ID, and like I had gotten it like a week before or 2 weeks before, and in the picture I'm like clean shaven, and and by the time we went to Virginia, I had not much but just a bit of scruff. And then she looks at the picture, she's like, "Ooh, you had a baby face." And I'm like,
"Oh, yeah.
Lady, the picture's from like a week ago."
Oh, look how young you are. I mean, hey, if that's the worst you get going through airport security, then it's all right.
I remember you had your, they fondled your magic cards.
It's like everybody's, it's like every collector's
nightmare,
worst fear. Like, because and so I'm sure people know what Magic the Gathering is, or if not, just know it's a trading card game. And so I'm one of those
like
people
Pokemon?
who, it's a card game, so sort of. But yes, like I'm one of those people who puts sleeves on all their cards and whatnot, and it's sort of like, well, I want to keep them in good condition in case I want to sell them, even though I'll never sell shit. In fact, behind me right now, there's about 7 big old boxes of like my Magic stuff because I had to like consolidate it all because I have so much of that shit. Um, but yeah, going through security on the way back from, was that on the way back from? Yeah, that was on the way back from Virginia. Uh, they stopped me and they went through all my cards, and so he's like flicking his thumb. He's like an alien. He's exposing his thumb. Um, he's like flicking his thumb through all of them and like bending them all. I'm like, ugh. And like he takes out the box, and the boxes, of course, have like the cringiest like graphics of like magicians and stuff.
I think the box you gave me was a Pokemon box.
Yeah, the box I gave you of Magic cards was
It was an old Pokemon.
I had this
box.
Oh no, it wasn't even that old, honestly. I had this moment, which I'm sure many people have about many things, where you see like a deal on something that's just like a bit too good to pass up, even though you don't want it, and you're like, I could buy that shit and just resell it. That's a waste of time, let me tell you. If you're not a major retailer, don't bother. But yeah, I had bought like a bunch of Pokemon shit on clearance, and so, I mean, at the end of the day, I broke even basically, and I got a scale and like some of that Pokemon shit out of it. So I guess that's okay. But like, I spent too much time selling that shit on like eBay. But yeah, that's where that box came. And I think some of the sleeves I gave you as well were Pokemon.
The red deck I think that you gave me was Pokemon sleeves.
Yeah. See, that's how that you can tell. That's how compulsive I am. Is that even when I'm giving away cards or whatever, I still sleeve them.
Yeah, and the sleeves match the color of the cards.
Oh, you gotta try, man. I mean, come on. That was when you were going back to Indonesia, right? I gave you that.
Yeah. Because I was looking at I was like at Barnes and Nobles, which is probably the worst place to look for Magic cards.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm just like, ooh, I don't know what to get. And then I went to like a comic book store and they had some Magic cards that they were it was like a very small deck. 10 cards maybe not even. Probably 10
that was probably
20.
just a pack of them.
Yeah. And the next time we met up, you're just like, here you go. I'm like, oh shit. 5 decks of cards.
Well, yeah, that's the thing about like the thing that annoys me about card games, and something that's really good about like the new models of digital card games, I think, is that when you're getting into like a physical card game, it's so hard to like know what to get, and like you don't want to spend a ton of money on it. It's like impossible to get into card games usually if you're not spending a ton of money.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole problem of like having people to play with and et cetera, et cetera. But like with like free to play digital card games, I feel like that changes so much. Like Arena, Magic Gathering Arena, I was telling you about. I feel like that's such a great way to play the game with no money that I wish I had when I was younger. And that way also you always have people to play with. Whereas like when you're playing paper, a lot of times, at least for me, because no friends, but well, no, it's like that's sort of how it goes. Like I with paper Magic, I ended up hanging out with a lot of people that I had like no interest in hanging out with, just because they also played. I feel like I'm very judgmental, but like, like with a lot of my hobbies, it always brings me around people that I don't want to hang out with. So maybe I'm one of those people too. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm just thinking about like some of the experiences I had at like going to card shops as like a teenager and being around uh, all these people who are like very socially awkward. I mean, I was too. I mean, I still sort of am, but like very socially awkward, and that by itself isn't a terrible thing, but also like rude and like just sort of uh like dismissive, just like overall kind of a bad experience
Right. It's sort
doing
of
that.
the combination of being socially awkward and rude is
Oh yeah,
it's
that's what kills me. There's a couple of different types
yeah.
of sort of people that I run into with the sort of hobbies I have. Oh, that sounds really that sounds really shady. You know, with the kind of hobbies I have, I run into certain kinds of people. Um,
Mr. Gray, we'll see you now.
um, like you'll run into the people who are generally kind of like, uh, they keep it light or whatever, but they're just like very awkward and they say, like random inappropriate things. They don't know how to act.
Right.
But then you also have like, it tended, at least for me, it tended to be people who were like probably 30 plus or like, well into adulthood, uh, who were like playing Magic and all that, that were like just a lot of the times super, super rude to me and like not welcoming really.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and yeah, I don't know. It's just like, it's so weird to be in that position. Um, and when you're playing online, you don't have to deal with any of that shit. So that's nice.
That's true.
Um,
Unless I'm sure you can talk to the people you play with online, though, right? There are
so like
options.
an arena, it's sort of like Hearthstone where um, there's no real talking to your opponent or anything.
Uh huh.
In regular Magic the Gathering online, which I've played also, you can like talk normally,
Yeah.
but I don't think it really gives you that option in arena. But
Oh, dude, do you remember when when I was talking this is when I was talking to and I was mentioning that I was playing Magic. She said, "Yeah, I played that with my neighbor. I was a fairy or something." I think I I realized now. I think she was thinking of D&D,
probably,
right? Because she said she was
probably.
playing as a certain creature.
Well, wasn't I remember you telling me this was like when you were first starting to play as well, right?
Yeah, this is pretty early on. Like I think I didn't know much about the game, but I
Yeah,
had
so you
played
were
it
kind of
enough.
confused by that, I think.
Yeah, because I had never, because the whole thing was you played as a group of things, right? You were like there was the elf pack, but you had a bunch of different elves, and then you had the like the dragons, but there were also goblins and stuff.
But yeah, I mean that's just tribal stuff, but like in general, like the sort of lore of the game, so to speak, is that you're a you're a planeswalker
Yeah,
and the cards that you're playing are like the things that you're summoning or the spells that you're playing.
yeah,
I hate myself talking about this. Um, you see, this is how bad bullying in America is that I'm still ashamed of my hobbies. Um, but yeah, like you don't play as anything. You're just sort of you're in control of it. It's sort of like when you're playing chess, you're not the knight. You're just playing with the knight.
yeah,
And you've got a whole bunch of different things. It's like chess, but if you could pick your own pieces.
yeah. And you can buy superior pieces.
Well, yeah, that's exactly the problem with card games is that they're only as good as your environment that you're playing them is, and if you're not spending a lot of money and someone is, and you're always playing with them, and they don't, if they're valuing competition over fun,
Yeah,
then a lot of times you won't get into it.
yeah. Well, I think
Um,
that was probably the most fun thing about when I first started playing. It was all like they're all what's the word for them? Dual decks or
Dual decks, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, we were dual decking.
Yeah. For you kids at home, dual decking is when you jerk each other off. No, but I mean that was like a that was like a conscious decision.
Right, because if
Being
someone
gay,
was
I
just
mean,
like,
you're not born with okay. No, but like yeah, when
when you're born,
when I
Xenu decides if you're gay or not.
yeah, he flips the switch. I swear that's probably something they fucking believe. Sorry to all our Scientologist listeners. Wouldn't that be crazy if like
That's our
50%?
following.
Yeah, 50% is Scientologist. Like,
Not
and they've
anymore,
just
though.
offended all of them. Well, but yeah. When I was first introducing you to the game, I remember I was consciously doing that because there's always a point when you're introducing someone. I mean, it applies to Magic, but it could apply to any card game where you introduce them to all the mechanics and stuff, and they see the cards and whatnot, and they're like, "Oh, cool," and then the realization hits that like, oh, like I have to buy cards to do this, and there's all these like different sets, and like
Yeah.
just like this confusion sets in, and like at that point you're really not into the game enough to really want to bother with any of that shit.
Right.
And at this point, people who are how should I? It's more like people who aren't good at explaining a game or whatever will sort of stick with the competitive stuff, and I think that drives people away.
Mhm.
Whereas I've always just sort of been about I want like the most balanced experience possible because that's where the fun interactions come, and that's where you have interesting matches. Although the dual decks don't always do a good job of that, but I mean it worked. There you go. I mean, you liked Magic.
Yeah.
Do you ever still play anymore?
I haven't in a while, but I did introduce my brother to it. And we played a few games. He got into it, and I think it was like he was on break, and he was off break. I see people who post, who create or their own card tables and post them online.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh boy, like I'm still in love with that table that I saw.
The Catan one.
The Catan one. I actually got to play Catan the other day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just as petty as I remember.
Did you win?
No, I was the early front runner, so they completely blocked me out.
Oh yeah.
So basically, I had no chance. I had the longest road at some point, but I wasn't getting. They blocked out my wood resource. And I wasn't getting anything, but like even when I was no longer winning, I was still the one being blocked out because like I had the resource that was rolled a lot and just kept blocking me out. And then I just saying to the guys like, stop. Like whenever someone got to move the knight or thief, whatever it's called, I'm like, don't block. I'm not winning anymore. Block them.
The first person who's winning, it stays in people's minds.
Yeah,
they're just like, okay, I have to look out for this person.
Oh man, but yeah, it got like it was funny because the pettiness basically begins with the first thief. Like whoever rolls the 7 first, or whoever plays the knight first, because there's nothing really to gain yet by blocking someone out.
Well, to be fair, the pettiness really starts with the placement of the cities and roads,
Yeah,
like the first ones.
That's true. Like building too
like
close to someone.
That's it. Yeah. Taking someone's spot that they wanted already. You've got an enemy.
Yeah, I remember. I was playing with my cousin once, and we were teaching my aunt how to play, and it was between me and my cousin for the majority of the game, just because we've played the game and the other two people hadn't, and I had longest road. I think the amount of road pieces you have is 13, I believe.
Something like that.
So my road, I think, was at 11. My cousin really wanted to beat that, so he got it up to 12, and then he ran out of road pieces. And then he's like, done. You can't take it back. And I counted. I'm like, yes, I can. And he's like, and he counts. He's like, oh, I'm missing a piece. So he built another road and took a road piece from my aunt, like the one she wasn't using, and he put it as his own. And
So did he actually have 12, or was he just using a road somewhere else?
So he had 12, but he was supposed to have 13 road pieces.
Right.
It was missing. But the funniest thing was we were so heavily involved in like trying to win against each other. My aunt won that game.
Really?
Yeah, just because we were just she was the
because you two were
we were being petty. Like he took my longest road, so I tried all this, and he was so focused on the longest road, we didn't realize she had built a few cities, had plenty of settlements, and then she's like, how do you win? And he's like, oh, you just have to have 10 points. As soon as you get 10 points, you win. She's like, I win.
I win. That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good learning experience too, is learning about the pettiness that arrives.
Oh yeah. And there was also a time we played Monopoly, which
Ugh,
I don't know why we decided to.
always a bad idea.
Yeah, but my aunt basically had like 2 of the greens. I think she had the blues.
The boardwalk.
Yeah, the boardwalk. Oh, it was a Beatles Monopoly.
She had John Lennon's grave or whatever.
The gun that killed him. No,
The
Yoko.
Shattered glasses. Oh yeah, Yoko. Yeah.
What's before green? Yellow?
Dude, I have no idea. I can't remember Monopoly that well.
I'm pretty sure she had all the most valuable colors.
Right.
I think I was basically losing that game, but I had a green, and I had one of the blues.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that where my cousin was, he was going to land in that green-blue area. That was the next roll.
Right.
And I could get like a purple. I could get one. I could complete one of my smaller worth properties if I traded with her. It was definitely a dumb trade on my part because it basically gave her the win. I'm just like,
right.
You know what? I could completely bankrupt my cousin if I just give her these pieces. And sure enough, he got bankrupt. He was so pissed at me.
I hear that's what happened to Telltale, actually.
They were playing Monopoly and lost control.
Someone sold one of the properties and they landed on it. Yeah, I don't know. Like Monopoly, like as much as I think Catan's a good game.
Catan's great,
but I get annoyed just because you have to have some sort of randomness in the game. I understand that, but it a lot of times I tend to get in positions where I'm just not getting rolled the resources I need.
Yeah. Or when you're being blocked.
Well, I mean, it's that annoys me, but that's sort of, I understand that. But
right.
What annoys me is that when you're not rolling the resources you need, I appreciate in games where there's definitely got to be a luck aspect, but I appreciate when you can use overwhelming skill to get around like any sort of luck, right?
Right.
Like I feel like the best games do that, whereas Catan, like you really have to rely on that baseline luck to begin with, and then you sort of use skill.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's skill in like where you place your cities and roads so that you can compensate for the luck, but it's annoying to get in those sort of positions. But Monopoly is just like
Pure luck.
way worse. I mean, once again, there is skill, what properties you buy, where you put your hotels, et cetera, et cetera. But like, I am not a fan of Monopoly. Over the holidays, I had watched Jack Frost, like the old animation.
Oh, not the one with like, was it Michael Keaton?
No. No, like the old animated thing. And the whole thing with Jack Frost.
Oh wait, this is completely different to what I was thinking of.
Yeah, it's like the cartoon.
Yeah, it's like a superhero thing, right?
No.
Wait, what are you thinking of? I googled.
Superhero.
Yeah, there's a Jack Frost made by Stan Lee.
God, I'm glad that bastard's dead. No, that's not what I'm thinking of.
Okay. Like the Christmas Story. Is that the Jack Frost?
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna post it in chat.
Because there is a live action Jack Frost movie with a real snowman. Oh man. Oh, it's not on my watch list. I should add it to my watch list. It's a fucking terrible movie.
You're talking about this Jack Frost or the other Jack Frost?
The Michael Keaton one.
Oh.
He's here. I'll just.
But anyway.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. No, you go.
Yeah, the Michael Keaton one is a father who can't keep his promises dies in a car accident. 1 year later, he returns as a snowman who has the final chance to put things right with his son before he's gone forever.
Oh my God, that takes because like that's sort of Frosty the Snowman, sort of like it sort of takes that where he's gonna melt eventually.
Yeah,
but
that's
it
exactly
takes
the
that and
story.
raises the stakes.
Oh, this Jack Frost. Yes.
Yeah, have you ever seen it?
I think I've seen more recent versions of it, not this one.
It was interesting because the story sort of goes. You don't mind if I spoil Jack Frost for you, do you?
No, I want to know. Yeah, go ahead.
So Jack Frost is like this wintry spirit kind of thing, and he serves Father Christmas and whatnot. Oh yeah, it's a real scary movie. I think there is a Jack Frost horror movie.
I'm sure there is.
But so like people can't see him or anything, but they could feel, they could feel him. Jack Frost nipping at your nose, etc. He's going up and biting their noses off.
I misheard you because I heard they could feel him jack off.
They can't see him, but they can feel him jack off. So he like falls in love with this girl who he's always around, and basically she's lonely or whatever, and so he wants to become a human so that he can be with her.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's asking Father Christmas about this, and Father Christmas is like, "Oh no, that's a terrible idea. Like you're basically like an immortal spirit, and you got to help out with winter and whatnot."
Right.
But he keeps on insisting. So he's like, "All right, I'll let you be a human for like a week or so. I can't remember how long, but I'll let you. Oh, for the rest of winter, but you have to find a wife, a house, and gold or something. I don't know." And so he's like, "Okay." So he becomes a human. He starts living with the girl's family, but long story short, by the end of it,
he kills her.
yeah, he gives her frostbite. At the end of it, she just marries another dude, and
God.
he goes back to being a spirit, and like so he's there at like the wedding or whatever. and like he just gets cucked.
That's so sad.
And it's just, yeah, like, and that was the ending of it. Like,
Wasn't this
I was
a
like,
kids movie or show? Or
it is, and I thought that was so interesting because a lot of them they tend to be like, okay, this is just gonna be
happy
like
ending.
the ending that you're expecting and whatnot. And it's not like it was necessarily a really sad ending. I mean, she wanted to be with the dude or whatever, and he was okay, I guess, being a spirit or whatever. But it was just like, it was such that sort of a happy ending in the sense that, like, well, it just wasn't right timing or whatever.
Right.
It gave me that feeling, or it's just like missed
opportunity or bad
misconnection. Yeah. After watching that, I was like, damn, tell me how Jack Frost, this old ass animation, made me feel more than any movie I've watched recently. Because that's the thing, like nobody in the movie was like a bad person, except for there was like some evil dude that they had to save her from. But like the knight that she ends up marrying, like he's not like a bad dude or anything. It's just like, okay, it just didn't work out. It's like, damn, man, that's an adult theme for this silly little cartoon. Dude, I remember I mean, so much shit. Like, I remember in my high school, some kids got caught fucking in the wood shop.
Places.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny because, well, I won't say his name because I don't want, I don't know. I think he's still actually working there. But our wood shop teacher was like, I think I've told you about him before, but he was like very chill about things.
Oh, yeah.
He just really didn't care that much. And so we got up to a whole bunch of horse shit in there. And yeah, so he was the one who ended up finding them. And I remember he would, he talked about it. Yeah, he started throwing sawdust on them. No, but I remember him saying something about it, like, because someone had brought it up to him, and he was like, yeah, I walked in, they had sawdust all over their asses. That's just hilarious to me that someone like, because that was probably one of the most remote places in the school, probably. But it's just, that's funny that they just couldn't wait. They had to do it in the wood shop.
That can't be like, you're done and then you just find sawdust in all types of places.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, like,
plus, like,
I don't know.
The friction and having bits of sawdust.
You've got, like, you can't find a condom, so you wrap sandpaper around your dick.
Oh God. Which way is which way though? Like, is the sandpaper
on the inside or the outside?
The outside.
Well, it depends. Depends if you're a gentleman. You've watched Seven, right?
Yeah.
That just reminded me of the like the bladed dildo or whatever.
Bladed dildo. I'm trying to remember.
He made me fuck her. You don't remember that part?
I feel like I remember. I remember the glutton that was found at his table.
I gotta rewatch Seven.
Seven's good.
I give it a 7 out of 10.
I heard they actually it was supposed to be Al Pacino, who was the Morgan Freeman character.
Al Pacino.
Yeah.
I think the casting's good.
Yeah, definitely is. What's in the box?
What's in the fucking box?
I kind of
no, but you don't remember. I think it was Lust. I think that's what it was.
It was definitely Lust. If it's a dildo.
But yes, like there was glutton for punishment. But yeah, like the guy, I think it's the killer he was gonna kill the guy unless he fucked this girl with like this bladed dildo. So he did. It's a pretty grotesque looking thing too.
I really can't remember. I feel like my memories of the movie is a lot of with a lot of things too. Like whenever movie scenes become memes.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Of course, you know what's in the box.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then just like I'm sure like I was watching Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire ones.
Uh-huh.
And then I just kept laughing at the movie because of the amount of memes I've seen from it.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, it's been pretty meme to death now. Pizza time.
Pizza time.
He stole that guy's pizza. No, the original Spider-Mans are a treasure trove. I need to go back and watch it.
You should. Then you'll see Jim Norton on it. You'll see Joey Diaz.
Oh God. Oh yeah, Joey Diaz, who I'm just used to seeing on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah. On Joe Rogan's podcast, talking about how many drugs he used to do.
Yeah, he's one of the nastiest men alive.
And then in Spider-Man, he's someone who's protecting Spider-Man from Doc Ock.
Classic. Oh yeah, you gotta go through us.
Yeah, and me.
Blows coke out of his nose.
So yeah, Spider-Man 2. Well, I guess the original Raimi Spider-Mans all regarded as pretty much good movies, except the third one.
Right.
But I noticed and maybe by doing this, I'm validating these fucking stupid Instagram pages that give their opinions about movies. But it seems like people consider Batman vs. Superman a good movie now. And it drives me up the fucking wall.
So, what Instagram pages are you talking about?
These like DC fan pages or comic book movie fan pages. So I guess there's already a bias there.
Right.
But they were doing this one page in particular. They were like ranking the best DCEU films so far.
Mm-hmm.
I think they rated.
Well, there can't be that many of them, are there?
There is Superman, the first Henry Cavill one. There is Justice League, Batman vs. Superman, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman. So I would say Wonder Woman is probably the best one so far. Justice League is the worst. Batman, Superman, closely followed by that. Yeah, I don't get why people think it's good now. My brother got in like an Instagram a little argument. I don't know why he does this, but someone had posted like a picture of a Coke can and had the name Martha on it, and then there was the picture of sad Affleck.
Mm-hmm.
And so my brother responds, "Oh, that part was so dumb."
It was.
And then these people comment like, "Oh, it's only dumb if you weren't paying attention." Blah, 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 blah. I'm just like,
what is there to pay attention to? It's that's my mommy's name.
And I actually saw someone do a really good analysis of this. And the cool thing is you've seen this movie, so like you know exactly how stupid that scene was.
Yes, it was just a complete 180 switch of mood.
Right. Now, I'll start by saying I can see how it would work. Like Batman, this 40, 50-year-old man being reminded of his mother's death convinces him to not be a monster and kill this other man, a boy who's trying to save his mom. That works. It was just so poorly done. The writing was so bad. The acting was so bad. And let's not forget also, this version of Batman is someone who kills people. He killed people throughout that movie.
Oh, yeah. Did they have blood effects? I can't remember.
They might have. I know there's that scene in like the warehouse where he was just like fighting. Yeah, there were blood effects. I remember he threw what do you call them? Those. He threw like a giant box at someone's head, and their head hit the wall, and there was a blood splat.
That was the scene I was thinking about. I was just trying to remember if they had blood or if they didn't have blood in the movie.
There was blood. I remember the blood being on the wall. Well, I'm just like, this version of Batman is so brutal. Why would he care about killing this man who has, you know what I mean? Like, why would it only hit him now, especially when he considers this man a giant threat to humanity. But as soon as they say Martha, suddenly he completely forgets about the fact that Superman could be a threat to humanity.
Why'd you say that name?
Because the story that I think they were going for, which I heard has been scrapped, was they were going for Injustice, where Superman becomes a dictator.
They're actually going for Superman and Batman being brothers.
Lovers.
Right. Brother lovers.
So yeah, I heard that was scrapped, but I'm not sure if that's true. But it's just so dumb because as soon as he says save Martha, he forgets that his whole mission was, yes, Superman is good now, but as soon as he turns, he's more dangerous than anyone who could ever face.
Yeah, like it that moment makes it so that the conflict that they had, it must have not been about anything. Like, it just invalidates everything because he already must have come to terms with, okay, this guy's a person and, you know, generally trying to do a good thing probably, but I need to take him out anyway because I think that'll be for the greater good.
Yeah.
And the fact that, like, what, did he not think that he had a mother? Like, like, just having the same name is not good enough to, like, be like, okay.
He's a child of Xenu.
He read his Thetan level, and they were within good bounds.
Also, like, I get, like, that Superman might be trying to hide his identity, but even still, I wondered why would he say save Martha? Couldn't he have just said, you know, save my mother?
I mean, well, who is he saying it to?
So the whole thing is, like, Batman's defeated.
He was saying it to Batman,
He was
right?
saying it to Batman. But Lois, the thing is, Lois comes running in to make sure.
That's his mother's name.
Yeah, exactly. It's his mother's name. It's his mother's name.
The more I think about this scene, the more annoyed I get, but also the more funny it is.
And then
it's so weird.
You have Cavill doing his what's the word when you can't poop?
Constipated?
Yeah, he's constipated. Save Martha.
Well, like, yeah, so that'll be my argument for, like, why he said save Martha or whatever. It's just like he's dying or whatever, so you're not really thinking about what you're saying. You're just, like, saying what you feel in that moment.
But
so, like,
but to
that's
me,
that's obviously not the problem with the scene.
Yeah. But and I get what you're saying, because I thought that too. Like, he's dying. He's not going to think exactly about what he's saying. So shouldn't he? I feel like it would be more natural for him to say, "Save my mother."
Well, that's true. Who calls their mom by their first name?
Yeah, that's because
that is weird.
And I get the argument. I guess for that would be, this is not someone I know. Why would I tell him my mother's in danger and give away my identity? But then Lois just comes in and just like, this is Clark Kent. He works at the Daily Bugle.
Wait, but Batman wouldn't know who Martha is, would he?
Exactly. Like,
so it wouldn't matter whether he said mother or Martha. He wouldn't know who the hell that is.
So it just reeked of.
It's just a plot device.
Yeah, what's the word when a character is just simply there to explain the plot?
Exposition.
Yeah, it was completely exposition.
I mean, yeah, sort of. I mean, to be fair, I wasn't a big fan of that wasn't like the only problem I had with the movie. I wasn't really that interested in the movie overall.
We're barely scratching the surface of the problems with that movie.
Yeah. But I think that is funny that some people might have. That's wild to me that some people might have felt like an emotional tug during that scene.
Yeah.
Like, how could
I was completely.
How could a human being
moment.
actually? Yeah. How could a human being actually feel emotion during that stupid scene?
Because never mind the fact that they hired Jesse Eisenberg to be Lex Luthor.
God, I forgot about that.
Right? Like, and then
he's even got his hair for the entirety of the movie until it's shaved in prison, right?
But the thing is, apparently because the backlash for his hiring was so bad, they made him Lex Luthor's son.
Retroactively?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
But Lex Luthor won't. But Lex Luthor isn't around, right?
Apparently he's dead.
Right. So basically he's Lex Luthor. Like,
yeah. And then,
it's just a workaround to make people happy.
Yeah, and then again, that leads into another issue, is just that we're pushed into this cinematic universe we know nothing about, and the movie has to explain everything bit by bit, exposition. We don't know why Batman kills, but we see Robin's suit with what we assume is the Joker's writing on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was weird.
We're introduced to the rest of the Justice League through these little email clips that Lex has.
Man, you are bringing me back.
Yeah. So you see...
How long ago did we watch this? We watched it in theaters, right?
Yeah. Because I was excited for the movie. I dragged you and another friend along.
Was that
3
years ago?
3 years ago, I think. I think it was our junior year.
Somewhere around.
Like... So you have...
the fucking...
Yeah, the email clips.
The emails thing. And I think that was the introduction to Aquaman.
Yeah, that was the introduction for Aquaman, Flash.
Because there was like a little like water drone going down, and he's like, "Get away from my water cave."
Yeah. And then who made personalized logos for each of these unidentified individuals? And
I think the implication is that Lex Luthor made them because he has the... Right? It was him who had the laptop.
Yeah.
But then why would they use those logos? If he made them.
And here, maybe this will bring it back too. So the whole thing is like Bruce Wayne meets Wonder Woman. Yeah. He doesn't know who she is, but they keep bumping into each other at these events.
Right.
And then she's trying to get the same files he does. And then he emails her because he finds a picture of her from like 1910 or 1918
right.
from World War I. And then he writes, you see him type in the email, is like, you're not, what, I can't remember what exactly it was, but it's like, you're not looking for this because it's important to you. You're looking for this because it is you. Something along those lines. I'm definitely fucking up the exact quote.
A little wink for the audience.
He's like, it is you. And even the way he typed it, he's like, it, and then capital I-S, capital U.
Here's the thing.
It is you.
If you have your characters sending an email and it's not a movie based on like just real life modern day, then you're doing something wrong.
Yeah. And oh man, I'm just when Clark Kent meets Bruce Wayne, they have this tension between them that shouldn't exist because they don't know who they are.
Right.
When they have masks on.
Just two alpha males next to each other,
Yeah, and then you have Jesse Eisenberg. Ooh, what do you have here?
God, I did not like him in this.
And yeah, it's just Mr. Wayne, what do you think of the Bat Vigilante terrorizing Gotham? Like, dude.
That's me.
I have no problem with him.
That is you.
And then it's like, And then Bruce Wayne's just like, wait a minute, take off your glasses for a sec. Holy shit!
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, we could get into how stupid the idea of wearing glasses as a disguise sort of thing. But
that one I'm willing to forgive because it's more of a old timey comic thing.
yeah, that's the original sort of thing, and it sort of goes along with that style. That I'm in no way upset about that.
Yeah.
It's just everything else about the movie.
Oh.
Also, you brought up Wonder Woman, and let me just do a quick aside here.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember if they showed any clips of it during Batman vs Superman, but what's always kind of annoyed me about Wonder Woman is I always think it looks so stupid when she's like storming the beach in Normandy with like soldiers. I didn't watch the Wonder Woman movie, but like I think there was a lot of that in that, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's so weird and in a way sort of like insulting to have like a superhero in this crazy outfit, like running along with soldiers and like just like destroying. You know what I mean?
Sort of.
Because like they're real events, but you're basically throwing a superhero in there and being like, this is easy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the impression I get from it, is like she's like spinning a shield around and shit. Meanwhile, in reality, it was just like people running into machine gun fire and dying.
Right. Well,
so it's like those scenes always seem so off to me.
I think the ones that were in the
and
scenes...
Captain America too, not just Wonder Woman.
Right. Yeah, this is not only an attack on DC.
I mean, I just don't think women should be in the military, okay? It's insulting, frankly. I don't really get offended by many things. So like I'm not offended by it, but it's one of those things where it rings a bell and I'm like, yeah, I'm surprised more people aren't more upset about this. Like
Right, yeah.
It's very odd to me.
Yeah, I think I basically ranted all I can about
That was it.
Batman vs Superman.
All right, well, that's enough ranting about Batman versus Superman for one day. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We'll have another one out next week, and we'll see you later.
See you later, Martha.
Why did you say that name?